Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be discussing about crypto and Bitcoin, but specifically I would like to show you what I think is gonna be happening in the next 3 months or so. How high is gonna be the Bitcoin local top or even potentially the final top for this bull market, and also gonna show you some reasoning behind why I'm still macro bullish and I don't believe all of this fad about Bitcoin crash. Guys, before we continue, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates about this crazy crypto market. Guys, yesterday we had a crazy dump with Bitcoin. We went from roughly $67,000, $68,000 and everybody was panicking. I'm gonna show you right now on the new chart what happened yesterday. Everybody was panicking. They were saying, oh, this is the end. I'm gonna show you right now from here on the 15 minutes chart so you can see way better. So what happened yesterday, we were in this situation over here, guys. We pretty much were climbing back up to this area. We formed what we called a bear flag from here. You can see like that. And then pretty much what happened, we broke down from this bear flag and the price just collapsed from roughly $67,300 to down to $65,000 ish. And guess what, guys? With our VIP group, we were able to understand and predict that. And this what happened. It's quite incredible, right? So we just cooked the exact point where to short, and of course we gave this signal in advance. For our VIP group, we said Bitcoin should have a small rejection around 67,350. We even put a picture, and guess what happened? And the rest, of course, is history. So if you want to join a proper community of like-minded traders, you want to have analysis of Bitcoin every single day, altcoin analysis, guys, come and join the VIP group. There is a link in the description below, in the comments. Have a look at that, join, because you're not gonna regret it. But let's get out of the chase and let's go back into our chart so we can see exactly what's going on. So the purpose, guys, of today is going to be about understanding the Bitcoin local top or mid top. Now, pay attention to this because it's going to be very important for you to understand and to see what kind of price prediction, what kind of price target Bitcoin could have for this bull market. And of course, guys, this is not financial advice. It's my own opinion based on data I can see, based on other studies from other people, and therefore don't take my data and my analysis as financial advice. Just always think about yourself, do your own due diligence, but just use this one only as an educational purpose. Now, looking at Bitcoin, guys, there are a few things that I would like to consider to understand and to call a top, like a mid-term top for this bull market. So number one, guys, what I did was to understand from a historical perspective what happened in the previous bull markets when Bitcoin topped out. And of course, we don't have lots of history behind Bitcoin. Only a few years has been only roughly 15 years where Bitcoin since his inception. But however, we can see that the cycle which has started in 2016 to 17 up to now looks like a continuous cycle. This is because the Fed just pumped so much liquidity into the system. We always, were with these very low interest rates, and therefore we can classify this cycle starting from 2017. Now, whenever you look at Bitcoin from pretty much even 2012 to 2017, I want to show you what happened over here. So looking at this technical indicator called the RSI, which is this one over here, guys. Usually RSI signifies whenever the price of cryptocurrency, stocks or anything like that, it's pretty much overstretched, which means to sell the cryptocurrency, or it's oversold, that means to buy the cryptocurrency. Whenever you can see over here, you have this rectangle in this area. Once you are pretty much above this area, usually signifies to be very careful because a potential downward trend is about to occur, like a different crash. And as you can see, guys, which is quite remarkable, since 2013, Bitcoin has always had a mid-term top as well as a bull market top whenever you saw the RSI going around this area over here, around the in between 89, 90 to even up to 97. You can see that this has happened in 2013. 2013 we had one mid-term top, then we had a bit of a cool back again, and then a big movement to the upside. Then we can see in 2017 we had the same thing. We had a big top around 95, 96 RSI, and the price went from here. So let's say from 73 RSI from here, you can see, okay, so we were at 1,300. The price went up to roughly $20,000 with a 98 RSI. We can see also the cycle of 2020, where we were roughly 72, 73 RSI, and this coincided, this matched with roughly $17,000, $18,000 for one Bitcoin. And guess what happened? We quadrupled the value of Bitcoin after that, reaching the target of the RSI at roughly 92 to 93. And now here we go, guys. Look where Bitcoin is at the moment. We can even connect this point over here to this point over here to this point over here. And we can see that for this cycle, what could be happening is Bitcoin, I will be satisfied when I'm going to see Bitcoin reaching this target over here one more time. And if this is going to happen, of course, it's going to bring an RSI up to 88 to 90. And everybody's asking me right now, what is going to be the price of Bitcoin? Well, I'm going to show you in a second. But if you're going to go back and look at the history, in 2017, the price was roughly at 1,400. It went up 15 times. Then we can see from here was a 17,000, and then the price went up roughly 4 times. So looking at the charts over here, guys, in my opinion, I think that looking at the charts, it would not be unreasonable for Bitcoin at this point of time, if it's going to be here at this 90 RSI, to print at least, I would say, a target of 100 to 110,000, which is going to be just 1.5 compared to the previous top. So I would say that, in my opinion, the end of this bull cycle, Bitcoin will reach a level which is going to be, and I'm going to really exaggerate on that, maybe around 140 to 150,000. And am I going to sell there? Absolutely no. And I'm going to show you why in a second. Now, I'm going to cancel now the RSI. I don't want to talk about this any longer, so you understand all of my reasoning behind our price target for BTC. At the moment, guys, looking at pure technical analysis, I can see that Bitcoin is forming a very important shape, which has been very reliable as an historical pattern, and I'm talking about the one and only cup and handle pattern. The cup and handle pattern is in general a continuation pattern, and you can see that right now. We can see we had this big impulse, a cup and handle, so we have a cup over here, and now we are forming, at the moment, we are forming a handle over here. So Bitcoin is still defending itself very, very well, sitting in this part over here of the handle. And what I could say is that in the worst case scenario for the next maybe month or so, maybe until beginning of July, what we could be seeing could be a potential downtrend correction, maybe down to this area over here at maybe 58,000 to 60,000, so still in this range. But as you can see, we're still into this handle. And once this handle is going to break out, once we're going to be able to break out from this cup and handle, the way I usually measure it is to take all this part from the handle from here to here, and then to place it roughly around here. So at the moment, right, only looking at the handle, the first target I can see for Bitcoin achieving like as a potential first target is going to be at $85,000 to $86,000. And as you know, I talk about this all the time that I can see Bitcoin reaching that level, but I would say that if I had to bet 85 to 90K, 85, 86 could be my first target. Where, of course, what I'm going to do, I'm going to offload plenty of my Bitcoins. And you don't need to follow me, of course. So the other second target is going to be based on the height of the cup and handle. So what I can do, I can measure it, right? Going from here to here, and then to convert this one and just put it over here, guys. Look where it brings me. It brings me exactly to this target over here, which is also in conjunction, which is incredible, with the 2017 top, the 2021 top, because remember that the 2021 top, guys, wasn't here, but it was here. This was only like a dead cat bounce. So connecting this point over here, and this point over here, and this point over here is giving me the target of Bitcoin at roughly $110,000. That's the first reason why I think this is going to happen. Guys, the second one is going to be the fact that over here, Bitcoin is forming what we call a bull flag. So what we have over here, we have a pole, we have a flag. So within the cup and handle is forming a flag. So if this flag is going to break to the upside, that's what we're going to see. A continuation. So even if I take the pole from here to here, and I want to show you the magic right now, look how reliable is this. And it brings me here again. And all these targets over here, guys, are coming roughly in between August to October 2024. But we have a potential bull flag happening right now. We have a potential cup and handle happening right now. RSI is not even a 90, it's a 72, so it has so much room to go way higher. And all of these points are in our favor. I want to show you as well one last thing, which is quite interesting. And now I'm going to get Bitcoin paired with the Japanese yen. And I think I showed you this one before, guys. This one is incredible. This is like the pinnacle of research. So at the moment, guys, the US dollar is quite strong. So what it means that Bitcoin still hasn't seen a new high compared to the US dollar, but with so many other coins has already seen like a big all-time high. And that's the case with the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen has been devalued a lot compared to the US dollar. And as a reaction of that, Bitcoin has pumped to an unimaginable level. And look what happened in this instance over here. So comparing, our points over here to this point here, to this point here, and this point over here, we have one last point here, which is completely in line to what we said before, that the cycle could have started in 2017, connected this point over here, and then continued all this way over here. So if we have a look at these guys, and then we have a look at Bitcoin, I'm going to go back on the weekly and show you really well. I mean, let me just change this one over here. This is an old exchange, but I'm going to go on, let's say, I'm going to go BTC USD. So as I said before, if you connect these points over here to these points over here, it brings you exactly, look at that. So we said before, BTC Japanese yen is like this, and Bitcoin is like this, with a potential cup and handle, which brings you here, a potential bull flag, which brings you here. So that's, I think, what's going to happen, to be honest. I think it's going to really mimic the Japanese yen, because very, very soon the Japanese government is going to start to sell US government bonds, and probably they're going to start to adopt some monetary tightening, therefore increasing the strength of the yen. And if I have a look at this from a strength point of view, I would say that the cycle of BTC with the Japanese yen is finished, whereas the one with the US dollar is still about to start. So what we can do to confirm this hypothesis, right, is the fact that the US dollar has to weaken somehow. And what we can do to understand that is to have a look at the DXY, dollar currency index, our favorite indicator to understand the strength of the US dollar. Guys, whenever this one points downwards is good for Bitcoin. Whenever it points upwards is bad for Bitcoin. Now, looking at the charts from here, guys, we can see that the DXY, okay, that's how it's called, dollar currency index, is pretty much forming what we call the potential, we can say like a mini bear flag ABCD pattern. But what I can really expect from here, it could be that at the moment it broke this very important level of support and it's trying to recoil back up in this area. And what we can see is that I'm expecting the DXY to go and retest around this golden pocket here of the Fibonacci at 108 to 109. So once it's going to be able to touch this point over here, which is also the upper channel in this area, it's going to have a big rejection, and then we're going to continue to go to the downside. And why I have indicated this part over here like this? Because there is a big level of support over here at 95 to 96 DXY. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to show you right now. And I'm going to go and place one channel over here. Another channel over here. Is quite evident, right, that the DXY is into a channel, and the most likely move from this point over here could be this, and then this, where this one is equal to this one over here. So I'm expecting the DXY to go down to 96 and 97, and of course, if that happens, it's going to pull lots of weakness on the dollar, and therefore risk assets like Bitcoin, they should explode to the upside. But again, there is so much fear right now about the Fed, which is very, very hawkish at the moment. They say they're not going to cut interest rates, they're not going to do anything, they're going to keep everything the same because they want inflation at 2%. Well, I would like you to then to have a look at this chart over here, which is very important, and is the 2-year Treasury bond. So these are our bonds issued by the US government, where pretty much what happens is I buy these bonds from the government gives me a fixed income for my cash, and at the moment it's sitting at 4.7%. Now, do you think that if we weren't going to see Bitcoin going to, let's say, 100K, 90K, or the US dollar losing value, you will be seeing a potential formation of a head and shoulder on the 2-year Treasury yield? Because on the weekly chart, that's what looks like is forming right now. It could be a potential head and shoulder. So whenever this 2-year yield is going to the downside, the US government won't have enough investors to buy their T-bills. And then what's going to happen? They're going to be forced to cut interest rates. Remember that every time you are unsure about the Fed, the Federal Reserve, always have a look at the bond market. Always have a look at this 2 years and also 10 years Treasury yield. And if you see these numbers are pointing to the upside, it means that investors are putting all the money into fixed income, which usually signifies a problem. But in this case over here, looks like they're selling off the bonds. We can also have a look at the US 10 years Treasury yield, guys. If this is going to break, it's game over. I can tell you already, the Fed is going to cut rates like there is no tomorrow, and of course, risk assets are going to soar like crazy. But might be like in another 3 or 4 months from here, as I was explaining before. But I mean, at the moment, in my opinion, it looks like the US 10 looks bearish, and of course, the US 10 is leading the Fed. So remember that the bond market leads the Fed and not the Fed itself. They always have a look at the bond market. We broke right now this very important structure. I'm going to show you right now from here, but we broke this structure over here. So we are in, I would say, in a downtrend, and therefore what you're going to see from here could be something like this. So when I go from here, put it here, so would be a target maybe of 3.6, 3.7. percent, and of course that is going to be extremely bearish for the bond market, for the T-bills, but very bullish for risk assets and Bitcoin. So guys, to summarize everything again, looks really, I love this comparison over here about the Japanese yen and Bitcoin, and really feel like, this is going to happen the same. And if that happens, of course, the target is going to be 110 to 100 and let's say 105 to 115,000. If it's gonna go higher, maybe, but I don't really care because I'll already be at 95, 100,000. I will be already out, probably even before. But however, that's what I can see right now. Some people asking me as well about the bearish scenario. Do you see a bearish scenario? Well, of course, this is not there. I got a crystal ball, but at the same time, I think that if there's any bearish scenario, I will see Bitcoin maybe retracing down to maybe this area over here, in between 50,000 to maybe 45,000, then recoil, and then of course, explode up again. So that could be, I would say, another something, it could happen again. And of course, am I worried? I don't really care because I bought, guys, over here where you should have bought as well. So if you're worried, it means you bought a 65,000, 70,000, and why would you buy an asset at the top of the price? But anyway, I really hope, guys, it was helpful to give you a little bit more of a reasoning why I think that Bitcoin could reach a local top at that level. If you have a question, of course, leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I'm going to see you tomorrow for another update about this crazy cryptocurrency market. Take care, and I'm going to see you soon.